Hello everyone, friends, family. Yair Spitz here from the field. Just wanted to tell you all that I am seeing all of the wishes, concerns, prayers that everyone is writing about, and it's very much, very well appreciated. And also just to share with you just a tiny bit of what it looks like on this side. So I, like hundreds of thousands of other reserve soldiers, got called up on Motzei Shabbat, Motzei Chag. Within a few minutes after the Chag, I got a call, took my stuff, as much as I could put together within a few minutes, got into my car, and drove down to my base. In the last couple of days, my specific unit, I serve as a rabbi of a gedud, of a battalion, so a battalion rabbi, battalion chaplain, and my job is I'm an officer, so part of my job is rabbi jobs, and part of my job is officer jobs, which is to oversee getting everything ready, getting all of our weapon systems ready, getting all of our vehicles ready, making sure that all the soldiers have all the stuff that they need, they know where they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to do. My specific unit, I can't go into too much detail. My specific unit is not actively engaged right now in any battles. We are preparing as for possible future developments, meaning future could be tomorrow, future could be next week, future could be 3 weeks, depending on how long this whole thing takes. So our battalion have responsible for certain weapon systems that are not being activated yet. We hope that they don't need to be, because if they are, then the situation in other areas has gotten worse. That's all. And one more thing, I think it's very important for people to know, and it's I feel the need to share it, because this is what I'm experiencing here. Despite the terrible news, which of course there are many people here. But the battalion has about 450 soldiers. So of course from all over the country, all different age ranges, all different backgrounds. Obviously there are a lot of people here who know people who were killed, who were murdered. Obviously, people here people in their family might still be missing. And although one would expect that the atmosphere would be one of sadness or depression or anxiousness about the news, it's actually not the atmosphere at all. There's a tremendous feeling of motivation, of conviction, of belief in the fact that we are able to do something about it. And this is one of the things that I've been discussing with some of my soldiers, is that this is not the first time in Jewish history that Jews, and specifically on a Jewish holiday, have suffered at the hands of our enemies. It's happened too many times throughout history, too many times to count throughout history, but there were very, very few times in history, and very, very few Jews throughout history who had the ability to wake up the next day and to put on a uniform and to grab a gun and to fight back. And I think that that is the focus. I know that is a focus from the soldiers here, and it's of course it's difficult to kind of hold both emotions. But actually, when we're here in the army, we don't focus on the first emotion of sadness. We are focused. We are representing the Jewish people. We're representing the state of Israel. We have a job to do, and everyone here is extremely, extremely eager to go ahead and get the job done, to fight back, to restore the faith that everyone has in Tzahal as a representative of the Jewish people. And it's interesting for me to see, as a rabbi, of course, at times like this, so many people come out of the woodwork. They come and they want to put on tefillin, they want to have discussions, they want to put on a kippah, they want to say a blessing. Of course, this is perfectly understandable considering the situation, but it's not just, it's not a way for people just to deal with the grief. It seems to be a lot more about remembering what we're doing here in Israel, what we're doing here in the Israeli army, what it means to be a Jewish soldier in a Jewish army of a Jewish state. And that is the dominant feeling that we're experiencing here. And although the circumstances of it are regretful, it's amazing to see the conviction and the faith of the soldiers, regardless of where they come from in the world. Another quick thought, which is that my advice or my my thought to share is that to try as much as possible not to focus on the negative, not to focus on the of course, not to watch the videos that are being sent out there of terrible things that are happening, extremely unhealthy for the soul, for the nefesh, to see such things, and more importantly, the goal of those things is to weaken us, is to make us lose conviction, lose faith in ourselves, in Jewish destiny, in our faith, in our religion, in the fact that we believe that we've come back to Israel for a reason, that Hashem has brought us back here, that we have a destiny as Am Yisrael, and the conversations and the focus on the terrible things that happened 3 days ago, despite the fact that we're still finding out even more how terrible it was, it weakens us. And we believe that this battle, like all battles with our enemies, it starts in the ruach, it starts in the spirit, it starts in faith, it starts in belief, it starts in the ability to withstand. It's based on the ability to overcome, of gevurah, of bravery, of courage, courage in the certainty in the fact that we will prevail because we are the Jewish people. We have a destiny. We've been around for thousands of years, and we will continue to be around for thousands of years. And we've experienced many things like this, much worse things like this, and we have come through. And we have come through because we remembered who we are. And therefore, I would suggest focusing a lot more, not on weakening and not on being tempted to talk about how terrible it is, how could this have happened. It's shocking. It is, of course. But I think it is a challenge to not give in to that temptation, not to focus on things that weaken us or weaken the people around us. Of course, God forbid, not to weaken our children, for them not to look at this and to lose any kind of faith in Jewish destiny, in the Jewish promise, in Hashem. Rather to focus on the fact that we can do something about it. Hashem has given us the opportunity and put us in a situation in history where we can do something about it. Those who are in the army, of course, you can do something about it. Those who are not in the army, they can do a lot. They can pray, they can learn Torah, they can donate money, they can be part of the hundreds of initiatives that I'm sure are out there all over Israel, all over the Jewish world, in all the different kinds of ways. And I will tell you also that the people in the field, they see it. Meaning, every day we're getting, I cannot even describe the amount of food that we are getting. Food from restaurants, with letters from people, pizzas that I keep on streaming in, and all these things. They mean a lot to the soldiers, not just because they get to eat good food, but because they understand that there are 9 million Jews in Israel who are with them, and there are 15 million Jews in the world who are with them. And these are the things that I speak to them about and we discuss, and they understand it and they feel it. And our main way of winning is first and foremost to strengthen our spirit, our faith, and based on that, with that courage and with that faith, to go onto the battlefield and do what needs to be done and do what we know will end up happening. So thank you, everyone. Yeshar koach. To the best of my ability, I will try to send more updates as the days go forward. So, chazak v'nitchazek be'ad Amenu v'ad arei Eloheinu.